Hello, good morning, everyone. I just want to quickly share the anatomy of excuses with you and how we built them, what they've cost us, and a couple of things this morning. So, for the team, I want you to look at what I'm treating this morning as something very fantastic, something that will help you become a better person, that can help you grow, that can give you better understanding of who and where you should be. Now, all we will be discussing here is very simple. How does the excuses work? And that is the main thing. And the frameworks, there are three frameworks that will be discussed here, and how to get out of it. How, when you ask why, and how you solve the problem. Now, let's start. I want this to be very brief, very fast, and then you would understand how excuses really work. Now, the first thing is we want to take a definition from Pastor Paul Adefarasin. It talks about excuses is a tool of the incompetent. Excuses is the tool of the incompetent. Anything excuse is incompetent people that uses excuses. Now take that from me when I say that excuses is the tool of the incompetent. Many people don't agree with me, but this is where the thing comes from. When you are incompetent, that's when you begin to explain away the whole thing. Now it said it's a uh monument of nothingness. So there's nothing involved. You build all kind of castles in the air because of that, and it's also used by people who don't have sound judgment. So you must understand that it's what people reach out for when they make poor judgments. So today's lens, we'll be able to look at when you're supposed to produce results. One of the famous things you must always know is that I know everybody in the office knows that I keep talking about get results and not excuses. Get result, not excuses. Get result. I always use that word get results. And so let's quickly go through the other side of things. Now, excuses show up before they are even spoken. Maybe at work, you begin to say, oh, you missed a deadline. Remember, deadline missed is already a deadline missed. Somebody is waiting on the other side. So always agree you've missed a deadline. Don't come to give us all the excuses on why it was not you, why it was you, why it was almost you, and all of that. It's your own choice. Now, always remember that people remember results and not the reasons. People remember the result and not the reason. People remember result and not the reason why you did not achieve their results. So, for example, I tell you to go to the market and deliver something in the market and collect money back. When you go to the market, you do the delivery, you collect the money, you come back. That is results for me. But if you give me all the excuses, the weather was bad and all of that, on I lose money. And then the next thing I'm going to ask that, okay, so what actually happened? They said the weather was bad. That's a reason. That's not the result. The thing is that you are not salt. So you go under the rain and you get my money from me. Forget about the fact that it's raining. Because if your life depends on it, you will do it. And that's one thing I love about the military. They don't care. They would make you do training under all forms of conditions because you need to survive under those conditions when you get to the real field. Now, for personal growth, you must also know that excuses can also cap you. Instead of growth, you can give self-justification. I have nobody to send me to school. My school fees is so expensive. The lecturers were wicked and all of that. I don't have time. My children are everywhere. I can tell you for free, you are capping your personal growth by doing that. Then also in the work culture, if I allow one person come late, everybody would come late. So anything I tolerate from one person, I would also build a culture around it. So culture is the ownership, is no ownership built at one small decision at a time. If I allow you eat in the office space without going to the kitchen, that means that I would allow every other person eat in the office space without going to the kitchen. So then we begin to have festation of roaches, rats, and all of that in the office. Then we don't have a real excuse for not having them because I allowed certain things. So that is how excuses affect everybody in the system, your work, your personal lifestyle, and your culture as an organization. What you also want to look at is that what are the three phrases. Now we talk about the tool for the incompetent. That's when it's a tool for the incompetent. When you're incompetent, you give excuses, all kind of excuses, the big, the small, the average excuse is all around what you keep talking about. Then we now talk of the monument of nothingness. Be careful. to proudly defend what doesn't make sense. You're going to see that, oh, yes, it's true, and all of the energy you spend justifying. Why not just use the energy to grow? Why not use the energy to give result? It's not wise for you also to know that it's not a pathway forward for you. You'll see what it will cost you in the next slide. Now, this is how the cycle of excuses work. So there is a trigger, there is discomfort, and then there is the excuse and the stagnation. So if we tell you, oh, go to school, you say, oh, deadlines are too hard, oh, the lecturer was not speaking loud, my school is too far, I don't have the school fees, I don't have the time, I have too many things on my table at this time. Now it's a bit of, oh, discomfort and all of that, then you create the excuse, but stagnation is guaranteed. Your life will not move forward. So that is how stagnation creep on people, because they have too many excuses in their life why they cannot achieve that goal. Now, what are the excuses we find in the place of work? We have all kind of, oh, the brief was not clear, the timing was short, they moved goalpost on me, the system was down, it was supposed to be somebody else, it was not my tax, all of that. There are all kind of excuses you can create. We agree with you. Keep creating all the excuses. Don't worry, you will meet it in front, as I used to say. Excuses, if you dodge it today, you cannot dodge it tomorrow. That's how excuses work. Now, the real cost of excuses that you may not understand. What does it really cost you? First is trust. People no longer trust you. People no longer see you as a trusted partner when you start giving excuses. If I say, go and deliver something for me, and you can't deliver, you didn't do what you're supposed to do, I don't see you as that profitable partner for me again. I see you as an excuse partner. So you begin to create all the excuses, and I can't trust you with certain things in my life again because you're full of excuses. Now we now talk about the momentum. You find that people lose momentum because of all the excuses. So the small things that you've done over a period, for example, if we have a concert and you're supposed to produce to provide the equipment for sound, and you gave me all the excuses why the wires and how to get my sound system, and somebody was using it, my microphone is somewhere, I don't have batteries. You know what you've done to me? I've known that you're going to mess me up. Now you have a reputation. I would never invite you to take care of a major event like that again because your reputation is already damaged because of excuses. So I don't trust you. I don't trust your judgment. So you find where people will say that if you want it done right, do it yourself. You find equations like, oh, I trust the younger brother, I will deliver, but the elder brother, I don't trust. I trust the sister, your sister will be here. I don't trust this other person. You see it in movies. They say, oh, I trust my daddy will come, and the boy will stay, and the daddy will come. That's reputation and trust. The dad never gives excuses because result is the bottom line for everything. Now we now talk about every single trick is dismantled with these ways that we're about to try. So the first principle guiding the framework of how to get over excuses is acknowledge, own, act, and review. Acknowledge, own, act, and review. Acknowledge, own, act, and review. Don't forget that. Always acknowledge, own, act, and review. So acknowledge something that it's gone wrong. Okay, it's beyond my power, it's beyond my framework, it's beyond what I can handle. That's why things went wrong, right? Own it and say, okay, oh, based on these circumstances, I own it, and then act. Small honest steps today will help you settle into bigger things. So begin to take motions to stop the momentum. Then you then review what exactly happened. Why am I getting this kind of results in my life? Remove everything that triggers it, everything that brings you back to that point. Always note that that thing is very important for you to work on. Then the other framework you also want to look at is the 5 why model. And when I talk about the 5 why model, ask the first why, the second why. By the time you get to the fifth why, you'll know the root cause. So, for example, I gave an example here where a report came in late. So, what section was supposed to uh, what section of this whole thing made it late? You're doing a comprehensive report from every department, and then you discover that, oh, this thing came late because so and so department couldn't deliver. So you ask, what data from another team has not arrived or had not arrived, or why did they arrive late? Then what was there? Was there a hands-off deadline date for this exact thing we're doing? And then we then assume that we already knew the due date. But if you check very well, there was no calendar shared across the team. So nobody knew when there was a deadline. So that is where the delay came from. That's the big excuse that that all happened to us. So we need to ask the five why. If you ask why five times, you will probably be able to solve that problem of excuses. Now the next framework is the two framework of what you control and what is outside your control. Then the circle of concern, where um, it's beyond your hands. It's a national freeze, the client freeze budget. We now talk about there was a collapse on the national grid. There was no electricity. There was a storm. There was earthquake. Those are things beyond your power. There was a market shift. All of those things are beyond your own control. But what is within your control? Are you fully prepared for your preparation, your communication? Are you flagging some risks early enough? Did you ship the quality of the quantity that was required? Is there a reason why it's there and all of that? You must hold yourself accountable. So these three framework are the three frameworks you should always have behind your mind every time. So the first framework here is what? Acknowledge, own, act and review. Acknowledge, own, act and review. The next framework is the five whys, where you then give your reasons why you ask one, two, three, four, five, and then you get the result. And then you then talk about the what? The circle of control tests. Now the next thing is to understand these are the three framework, this is how they work, understand how you can reach for them, how you can use them, where to use them, and how to use them in your place of work and your frame of business today. Now we then talk about taking ownership. Now, it wasn't my fault. What was within your control from there? From here. So you must understand that it wasn't your fault, but what was within your control? Maybe the car had an accident. What was within your control? Will you have reduced your speed? Will you have traveled on another way? Will you have listened more? Will you have reduced the noise in the car? Will you have even watched out more, because the accident was not your fault, but was there something you can take ownership of from the whole accident? There wasn't enough information. Will you have asked earlier? Will you have sent emails? Will you have made inquiries from day one to say that, oh, I didn't get this information. Can you just explain better? Can you attach more files? Can you give me more explanation? And then you then talk about, oh, there is lateness. Did you flag it on time that there was going to be lateness? Oh, the weather storm and everything went bad. Oh, there was a leakage. The car had an accident. My wife suddenly went into labor this morning, and that's why I'm coming late. You need to explain and look at what it is and take ownership. Now, the other side is I want the team to commit to this. Now, you cut the sentence, pick a tool, and then close this loop. Pick one of the tools and work with it. Do you want the circle of tests? Do you want the Y, the five Y models, or you want the AOAR model? So, and we'll close this by Friday. Now, the next thing is these are questions you need to sit down. What are the things that we need to do? What are my responses? How does it work? You can screenshot this so that you can use it for some of the processes. But don't forget, in closing of this training, I want you to know this, that build the result, not what? The monument. You must understand that you are not building a monument, you're building result. Result is why people do business with you. Result is why people give you money. Result is why people come to you. Result is because it's why your vendors or your clients or whatsoever are engaging you. It's results. If I buy a bottle of Coca-Cola today and it doesn't taste like Coca-Cola, then I've not gotten result. That means Coca-Cola failed in that process. And that means I may then take my money to the next cola brand. So you want to think about it in such a way that how can I give results? Because people expect results from you. You wake up in the morning and you pick up your phone. You expect your network to give you network on your phone, your network provider to give you network on your phone. You expect the internet to be working, you expect the electricity to be working. And that's why we always talk about getting results. So every excuse we accept this week is a what? Monument. We choose to build instead of what? The outcome we set to have. So incompetence, what? Does not give reason. But what? All we need is what? Results. You want to get results. I want to get results. Everybody around you want to see results. So my name is Ayeni Ekundayo. I work in a digital marketing agency and I lead the team for the business development team across 7 countries. And if you need more, follow me, share my videos, talk to other people about what you've learned today, and let's take it up from there. Thank you very much. My social media handles are displayed on the screen.